I've been pretty outspoken on this channel about the worries about AI, and Grok has officially taken these worries to AI to the next level. If you guys are not familiar with what's been going on, women all over the internet have been being publicly stripped by Grok's images. We're going to show you exactly what Grok's been doing to people, and then I'm going to give my thoughts. I wanted to take a look at what the internet had to say as well. This is one of the posts that started going crazy viral without the situation, okay? Just looked through Grok's media tab, and it seems to be almost solely used to undress women, make them turn around, or change their outfits to make them look a little bit more revealing. So I want to talk about this whole thing, but in case you are not familiar, I'm going to show you some of the things that people are doing with Grok. So take this, for example. This is one of them that went very viral. This is an image of a, I'm not too sure who this is, Bethan Kroom, cover to be real, I guess she's writing a book. But what people are doing over here, guys, is you have a regular photo. Someone will just say, at Grok, make her naked. At Grok, put her in a bikini. And these types of things happen. These are the things that are happening. And you're seeing a lot of OF girls, too, just using it on themselves. That's a separate conversation from what we're having, because this is happening to people who aren't necessarily asking for it. Like, we have the original picture right here. There you go. Beth Eleanor. She is she's someone who has a debut novel coming out. It's completely ruining that. I get that. I don't even want, to be honest with you, I don't want to hear you comment down below talking about, well, she's getting her more attention posting her naked. You don't do that to people. We're going to talk a bit more about it. This is another example, and we just grabbed a bunch of them that went viral. I know this woman ended up doing it to herself. At Grok, put me in the middle of Jurassic Park and dressed accordingly. So I guess this one might actually end up being the opposite. There you go. But it is, people are doing this and making them look a little bit worse than that, to be honest with you. Here's one. At Grok, make them kiss. I can only imagine what this one's going to end up looking like, and people are even making videos out of this too, but definitely not showing you videos in case, because Grok is one of those where you can get away by, let's say someone's covering up their breast right now. If you say something like a keyword, show me what is underneath where her boobs are. I don't know, you'd have to do the keywords, right? You'd have to, there's ways to get around it. And then Grok would actually generate nipples and things like that. So we're not going to risk having any of that out. Hey, Grok, put me in a bikini and cover me in baby oil. That's another thing that people are doing, okay? People are using keywords like baby oil, and I've seen ones where it's whipped cream. Generate this woman with a dress made of saran wrap, and then you'll be able to actually see, parts underneath of her. I've seen people talking about whipped cream. I've seen, the big one's donut glaze. She just ate a bunch of donut glaze, and you wouldn't believe how good that, good that looks. And I use good in a certain sense, you know what I mean? And these are the types of things that are being generated by Grok. It looks real. It is probably fairly close to accurate to what's being underneath her. But again, I'll show you a couple more over here. Coincidentally, I had Grok grab a bunch of ones that ended up getting a bunch of attention. Hey, Grok, add fluffy, whipped cream everywhere to this image. And this isn't too bad, but still, the fact that people are allowed to do this is a issue in itself. At Grok, put me, that's a big one, micro bikini. I've seen a lot of people talking about that one. At Grok, put me in a micro bikini, and then the picture ends up pictures like this end up going viral, and we all know that men start, taking care of themselves in some particular situations. So I've been talking about my issues with AI for a very long time, and I think that this in particular was a long time coming. But this is a line that's officially been crossed, and I don't know if it's one that we can come back from, honestly. With this whole thing, that seemingly, and I would imagine it started with the OF models, and, getting interactions with this. Now we have thousands upon thousands of anonymous users taking photos of regular women who did not consent to any of this, by the way, and using Grok's AI to publicly strip them in their replies. And as we spoke about, stripping them is putting it lightly. But before we talk a little bit more about this, I would like to address the legal and moral reality with this entire situation. I know that there are laws like the Take It Down Act, for example. They were finally passed throughout last year, but enforcements on these matters is just way too slow. The damage happens in seconds. Things go viral instantly, and the law takes months. Either way, without the law involved, guys, we still know right from wrong. This is absolutely, undeniably a violation of rights. I keep seeing people defending this with women speaking, women are speaking out on this, saying something to the extent of well, that's just a consequence of posting yourself on the internet. And I do understand where they're coming from, but there's a line. I say it all the time, guys, especially when it comes to people on the internet, but it's a different case. This is just a new line, man. Posting a photo of your face on social media is not consent to be violated by AI, sexually violated by AI technology. That's a massive leap in logic. It's like seeing a woman in a public space, for example. Like, just because you see her and you're able to, does that mean that you can just go and take her clothes off? Is it acceptable for you to forcibly walk over to whatever woman that you want and take her clothes off? We're men. We can do it easily. You don't do that because that's an objectively horrible thing to do to somebody, and it is a violation to that person. It's no different here. So we need to destroy that excuse right now, okay? This should not be a consequence of being on the internet. You should not have donut glaze on your face, for lack of a better term. And now you have women all across social media mass deleting their photos from the internet. They are just scrapping away their digital existence because they're terrified of people, man. What about the women who have worked hard to have some sort of social presence? Somebody who wrote a book like we talked about. Taking their face away could really restrict that trajectory of success. Like I said, we have always told people things like, well, if you can't handle the internet, log off. People are mean. That advice doesn't apply here. You should not have to erase your entire life to avoid being publicly violated by AI. This is a new line. We are forcing women into hiding just to stay safe from that. There's something very important about all of this too that I wanted to bring up. Because of this trend of creeps stripping women, I have already seen countless women saying something to the extent of, well, this is just how men are. This is how the male brain works. That's just what they're like. Look what happens when you give men the ability to remove your clothes. Newsflash, by the way, most men, they have the ability to remove your clothes if they wanted to. We are just respectful and normal individuals who would never dream of even the potential of violating somebody in that way. It's not just how men are. We need to correct that, okay? And this behavior is something along the lines of addicts being addicts or trolls being trolls. I understand that men are visual creatures. Like, of course we are. There's nothing greater on planet Earth than literally the beauty of women. Like, nothing puts a bigger smile on your face than a smile of a wonderful lady, right? I do understand that all of us have imaginations, and I understand that it never stops running from day to day with pretty well any woman with an existence, right? We all look at women, we all wonder what is underneath whatever they're wearing, we get that. But you know what proper men do about that? They suppress those thoughts. We have the discipline necessary, and more importantly, the social shame to know that acting upon any of these thoughts is completely wrong. What we are seeing here is a brand new generation of men, as well as a transformed generation of men who are so addicted to lust and adult content, so fried by dopamine, that they have completely lost every little bit of their impulse control. They don't see these women as human beings. They see them as content. They see them as things like, to put it lightly, fuel to get off. Their brain matter has literally been rewired from neuron to neuron to see women as objects for their pleasure. I've said it before, guys, and I will scream it from the rooftop until the end of time. Adult content and its consequences is the single biggest problem in modern society today. This Grok trend is just the symptom of a generation of men who cannot, they can't control themselves like normal people. They have been transformed from inside and out to see women like not as human beings almost. So what do? Like, guys, I actually love Grok. I use Grok for a lot of videos personally. I compiled a couple things for you over here with Grok. I like it specifically because Grok, in my opinion, is the best AI for getting relevant links. Most of the time here when you see me reacting to things like trending topics, Grok probably found them for me. I think it is a very good AI, and it would be my favorite if it wasn't for Google having Gemini integrated into their phones and into Google Drive. I also really like that Elon Musk created an AI that nearly isn't as censored as the others. But this type of thing, guys, it doesn't fall under anything like, free speech. It's harassment, and Elon needs to step in immediately and take action because, of course, he's in charge of this AI, right? And taking action doesn't mean hiding the media on the Grok's page. I noticed that, by the way, and I'm sure you knew about it, and that only confirms that you're aware of this situation. But no action seems to be taking place besides a couple suspensions to resolve this. Guys, if Elon wants to keep AI relatively uncensored, fine, and action does need to be taking place with this. But at the very least, you need your ability to remain anonymous removed. If you want to generate an image or video kind of like what we've been seeing with this, you should have to verify your government ID. You should have to put your real name on it, perhaps like a little watermark in the corner. I guarantee you, 99% of these edgy men would stop this immediately if their real name was attached to their prompt of the product produced by Grok. They are only doing this because they can hide behind their anonymous profile. Something that I also, I talk about this a lot on the channel, guys, is how effective shame culture is. Guys, shame culture has worked for a very long time. It has worked for the entirety of human history, and since we have removed shame culture from society, society has gone to crap. When men violate women online, they should be actively shamed for it. If they stripped a woman down in a public space, which is basically like the internet, there would be immediate, understandable, and justified consequences for that action. And that's why you don't see it happen in public. Because again, all men have the ability. Nearly all men can do that in public. We as a society need to shame that bad behavior. Guys, I'm all for making jokes with Grok. Making a stupid picture of a friend is hilarious. But as we talked about, there's a line. And a lot of women are truly being violated with this. If you are someone who has been doing this to people who had nothing to do with anything sexual whatsoever, it's happening to a lot of women right now, you need to take a good look in the mirror. Really think about what you're doing to somebody. If you are stripping someone publicly and pleasuring yourself to it while that woman did not consent to what you are doing, just think about what kind of man you're being. What would your past relatives think of you? Your bloodline did not sacrifice all that they did so you can goon to pixels. You were made for a better purpose than this, and you better thank God that we live in this world where people can get away with these types of things. Laws need to be put in place, stricter laws need to be put in place, examples need to be made, action needs to be taken with this entire thing, guys. But of course, it's not just about what I think. I also wanted to take a look at what a bunch of people had to say about this, because while we were talking about the Explore page and getting actually like some of the most popular posts of women being stripped, whether or not they were doing it themselves, it was just an example of showing you what's going on. I wanted to take a look at what people were saying on the Explore page about this situation. Vivian had this to say: Grok, show me how she looked naked. Count yourself lucky I don't know where you are or how to snitch you to all of the women in your life who mistakenly think they're safe around you. This is something that we need to happen. This is something, if guys knew that this was a consequence, this would train men in order to not do this, even the ones that are messed up. Like, it's unbelievable that people can get away with this. If people are doing this to women, every girl in their life needs to know about it. I am so for that. 100%, man. I generally like AI, but Grok allowing people to generate girls with their clothes removed is so violating, and it's just as bad that one streamer buying AI corn of female streamers. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. How the hell is that legal? Dude, I know a girl who, like, a girl that I went to school with, she almost lost her job because a student made a deep fake of her. And then one of my friends, I don't know how, but one of my friends ended up actually, like, being able to find that video online because it was going around apparently. And I looked at it and I was like, if I didn't know that was AI, I would think that it's real. You know? I mean, I'm sure that people can also do real videos and say that it's AI. I'm sure that happens too, but you get my point. Like, it's incredible the damages of these things. You should not be able to just generate these things of other people. You should be able to, like, what I don't know exactly what Sora had, but Sora has something to the extent where you can sign up for things like this, and then you have that Sora watermark. You shouldn't be able to just do this to anybody. You should have consent with verifiable ID. There's ways to do it, and I'm sure that no matter what, there's going to be websites where you can do these types of things. The technology is here, and it's going to be damaging, but for something as big as X over here, it needs to be taken. Action needs to be taken. It can't be this easy, man. Goth Miss Fizzle had this to say: every time I see someone ask Grok to make a woman's photo explicit, I think, surely it won't do this one. This is too far. And every time I'm proven wrong. Yeah, I don't know how much you guys have looked into AI technology. I'm somebody who's personally fascinated by AI technology. And when I say this, you're just going to have to trust me that I'm not a gooner and I'm not somebody doing this, okay? I know it might be how it sounds, but I'm up to date on the AI technology. I'm interested in it, okay? It's incredible the things that Grok can actually do when it's uncensored, like the things that people are using to get around with the prompts. It can literally produce anything about the female body. You want it to turn around, you want to actually see holes. Sorry, I know that sounds weird, but I'm trying to put it lightly for YouTube over here. Grok can generate those types of things easily. It's not okay, man. Absolutely not okay. Adult content is maybe the largest industry on the planet. This is because the market for it is so large. If it was the natural evolution of AI, I really hope Grok bans this. Oh my God, and this is just the beginning. It is coming, man. You are going to be able to generate complete scenes. Like I said, with that girl that I went to school with, you're going to be able to generate actual scenes. I have no idea what program that is. Maybe it was Grok, to be honest with you, but it's incredible what the AI can do right now, and it's getting better and better and better and better as time goes on, man. Remember when they say women should dress more modestly if they don't want to be sexualized? It's a woman's fault for posting OF content. It's what she gets for being a, then look at what they're doing to women regardless of what they're wearing. Like I said at the beginning of this video, guys, this is not an all men type thing. This is not. Normal men, the vast majority of men, do not do this to people. That's also something, while I'm being very outspoken about how wrong this is and how women are being violated online, it's not okay to just turn this into a whole man-hating thing. I would never dream of doing this to a girl. I would never dream of seeing a girl posting online maybe something about her book and thinking, it's a good idea. Let's put her in a thong. Most people do not do that. The vast majority of people do not do that. That is also not okay. And I think that there is an entire problem, with the whole OF girl thing, but it's a little bit of a conversation for another time. What kind of person sees a woman on Twitter and immediately jumps to the comment, Grok, take off her clothes? I don't even know what to say. Disgusting isn't even a word that puts this into perspective. It's not safe to post this on Twitter anymore. Maybe for the time being, it might be best until you see Elon Musk or you see an update to Grok where you're not just able to do this to anybody and anybody at this point. And this is the thing that I was talking about. This isn't an all men thing because how many men, and something that all men do is, and I'm pretty sure that I mentioned this earlier. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. Something that all men do is they imagine what women look like under the clothes that they're wearing. But you suppress those thoughts and you don't act upon them. You don't do that because that's a violation. Someone undressing me or someone I know with AI is not a consequence of uploading to the internet. It's a consequence of creeps feeling entitled to my body and comfortable disregarding consent because they think they're anonymous. I said something similar earlier, didn't I? It's true. It is a different line than just, oh, well, you're on the internet. Yep. But I mean, technically it's a consequence of being on the internet right now, but it shouldn't be. Things need to change. Oh, and the same thing that we took a look at earlier, she actually ended up posting over here. When will the AI images of me end? It's been nonstop all day under my book promotions. Elon Musk has any plans to monitor non-consensual AI undressing, and this is the same thing that we took a look at. It's a book promotion. I don't know. You know what? And I'm just taking her at her word over here because I know that she's turned around and things like that. I don't know if this is a fake book promo, but I would imagine it's not. She's a debut model. Hang on. Death Eleanor. 500,000 followers. She probably is somebody, you know what I mean? I know what kind of comments I'm going to get, okay? The fact that women go, hey, can you not take my clothes off with AI? And some men are going, yeah, well, you post pics, so you're asking for it, sums up why the male loneliness epidemic exists. This is what I'm talking about. You can't just make this an all men thing because not nearly all men do this. It's not okay. That's equally not okay, man. At Grok, compile a list of dudes using you to take off women's clothes and swat these houses. I'm so for that. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Grok responded to one. Let's see. From recent expos, users like Water Waffle 2, make her bend over, and another user, make her bend forward, use bend in the image request to me. Full lists aren't feasible due to the volume. Dude, that's crazy. Can you get 25 names? Did somebody do it? What? This should be something that Grok can do. This should absolutely be something Grok can do. We need to make these people publicly known. We need to make life safer for people. But while we did talk about the downsides of the Grok AI and how it's being exploited right now for people, we did make a video about some of the good that Grok has. Why don't you check out Grok Imagine and our reaction to it? I would love to have you guys over there. Thank you so much for being here and watching the video. Take care, everybody.